or harassment. If Professor Edmondson saw this current state, try-hard corporate normies worship is just an excuse to be lazy. I'm gonna talk about Hanshin got utterly destroyed 28-3. They're gonna look at you like you just... Welcome, you degenerates staying up this late. It's up here. Wait, what's with those dead fish eyes? Staring at your phone screen in your room at midnight with one earbud in, your eyes are bloodshot as hell. Or what? Are you listening to this brain dead on a packed commuter train? I bet some of you lads are hiding in the company toilet stall escaping reality. Whatever. Today again, I'm gonna drop some stupid truths of the world for you. Degenerates rolling around in bed, enjoying your life's moratorium. So just clean out your ears and listen, even if you're brain dead. Let me give you the conclusion first. Here's today's theme. Bad news. That psychological safety those try-hard corporate normies worship is just an excuse to be lazy. I'm gonna talk about this. Wait. I knew you'd say that. I can see you smirking through the screen. That's a super trendy word lately. I read it in a try-hard business book. Press X to doubt.command. You just proved you're uneducated with that statement. Clueless guys like you, who only browse message boards, get tricked by that sugar-coated bullshit and get milked dry. Leave your emotions out of this. We're gonna face reality head-on today, too. To break it down so even we can understand, there are 3 elements today. Before jumping into the main topic, I'll give you the structure. Number 1, the sweet buzzword psychological safety that tryhards consider a must-read. Number 2, how it became a free pass for shifting blame, enough to make Professor Edmondson cry. Number 3, ultimately, the survival strategy you lads should take starting tomorrow. These 3 points? Don't hit me with too long. Didn't read. I structured it into 3 chapters so even a middle schooler could get it. Alright, let's get into it. First up, the sweet buzzword, psychological safety that tryhards consider a must-read. Look, every company is talking about this lately. Psychological safety. What do you think when you hear that? It's definitely a thing at your workplaces too. Picture this. Think of a gloomy Monday morning meeting room. Only the hum of the AC is echoing emptily, and not a single person opens their mouth. That suffocating, hellish atmosphere. And then, your try-hard boss, who loves dropping loan words, blurts out with a smug face. Everyone, our department puts psychological safety first. You can speak freely about anything. Don't fear making mistakes. Let's have a flat discussion. What the fuck? Speak freely about anything is absolute hell. No, you guys absolutely cannot fall for this bait. Try actually speaking freely. Let's say you honestly go, boss, honestly, I think this project plan is fundamentally broken. You're spitting facts. Looking at objective numbers, it's undeniably the truth. But can you imagine the vibe in the room the moment you say that? Yikes. The temperature drops to absolute 0 in an instant. It's gonna feel like that helpless, despairing atmosphere when Hanshin got utterly destroyed 28-3. They're gonna look at you like you just made a walk-off error with 2 outs and bases loaded. Look, say whatever you want is built on the invisible rule of as long as it aligns with the boss's intention. Take notes. It's the freedom to conform and say, exactly what you said, boss. That idea is an absolute unit. How the hell is this psychological safety? They call it freedom of speech, but in reality, it's just an upgraded version of peer pressure. This right here is the true form of modern peer pressure. You got a heavy lid forced on you, but you're made to force a smile and say, our team's communication is the best. Oof, you hate to see it. I'm laughing my ass off. Alright, next. I'm gonna talk about the second theme, how it became a free pass for shifting blame. Enough to make Professor Edmondson cry. First off, what's the premise here? This term, psychological safety, was proposed by Professor Amy Edmondson, an absolute unit in organizational behavior. It ain't some random buzzword that just popped up. To roughly explain Professor Edmondson's original definition, it's a shared belief among members that it's safe to take interpersonal risks in a team. Basically, it's a state where you can throw away the fear of being seen as clueless or brain dead or negative, and point out mistakes or honestly say you don't know something. Instead of staying quiet thinking, if I say this, they might think I'm brain dead or not a team player. The idea is, if I don't say this, it might lead to the whole team failing, so let's honestly share my questions and concerns. The leader also takes the initiative to admit mistakes and welcomes them as a learning opportunity. They show gratitude and say thanks to others for speaking up. Isn't that wonderful? That's St. Pierre. It's an incredibly useful theory to boost the team's learning rate to the moon. But what happens when this gets imported to the delusional sunshine and rainbows workplaces in Japan? Oh man, this is truly a disaster. It's hopeless. How do you think the brain-dead folks use this word? When they make a massive fuck-up, they casually go, I made a mistake this time. But this is a learning opportunity too, right? Our team has psychological safety, so it's wrong to blame me. What? Why? Are you a degenerate? You just slacked off and skipped double-checking. That's just half-assing your job. Professor Edmondson said to discuss openly to learn from mistakes, but in Japan it's completely being used as a brain-dead shield that says, I have the right to be protected, even if I screw up. It completely deviated from its original purpose and just became a tool for shifting blame, laughing my ass off. It's like a fielder who made an error acting all high and mighty on the mound saying, it's the wind's fault, so I'm not to blame. This is the reality of Japanese workplaces. Nobody takes responsibility. If you strictly point out a mistake, they play the victim like, that person threatened my psychological safety. It's power harassment. If Professor Edmondson saw this current state, she'd literally bawl her eyes out and pass out from grief. People often say, numbers don't lie, but liars use numbers, right? It's the same thing. Even an absolute unit of a theory becomes just a free pass for shifting blame if used wrong. I was thinking, I get the logic, but will it work in Japanese companies? And sure enough, this is it. Zero reproducibility. Let's wrap it up. That's the level we're at. All right, lastly, the third theme. Ultimately, the survival strategy you degenerate should take starting tomorrow. This is where the real shit begins. This is gonna be on the test, so you better memorize it. As I've been saying, psychological safety is currently just a survival strategy for the brain dead. Conversely, you lads should just exploit this messed up rule to the max. Humans only see what they want to see. Try-hard bosses want to believe that they're understanding. Good bosses building an amazing team with high psychological safety. So, let's say you make a massive mistake at work tomorrow. At that time, instead of turning pale and apologizing profusely like I'm so sorry, you probably say this, Boss, I'm sorry, but this failure became a great learning opportunity for the team. I think I was able to report the failure quickly without hiding it exactly because this team has psychological safety. It's all thanks to you, boss. Thank you. How's that? Put yourself in their shoes. From the boss's perspective, they'll feel like their management style just got highly praised, and they won't be able to get mad even if they want. Even if it's a walk-off Grand Slam level fuck-up, there's a chance you might be forgiven. Laughing my ass off, he's seething, you know? Hell, if you want to skip work, just say, my mental state hasn't been great lately, so to maintain the team's psychological safety, I'll take the day off today. That's the ultimate life hack for burning paid time off. In the end, all the sugar-coated bullshit in the world is just a facade. Exploit whatever you can. The one who survives the easiest wins. Honest folks get screwed over. The loud mouths and the ones good at making excuses win. The delusional, sunshine and rainbows idealism from the guys spouting sugar-coated bullshit is worth less than graffiti in a public toilet stall. The world runs on money, lust, and the need for validation. So don't get played by these shallow business buzzwords. Just play the game smartly. This right here is the true survival strategy. The clueless who don't know this trick will just get milked by the company their whole lives and work to death for a cheap salary. So, you degenerates, if you want to hear more of my talks, just hit subscribe or whatever. I don't give a damn either way. You're probably gonna forget everything by tomorrow anyway. Next time I'm gonna explain pest analysis. Alright, today's sermon is over. There's no momentum. This thread is dead, laughing my ass off. I've gotta wake up early tomorrow, so we're done here. Flatlined. I'm going to sleep. You lads just live your lives, however.